Welcome back, everyone, to Data Science for Everyone. Today, we're going to be continuing our discussion on utilizing and responding to events. Let's get started. So, last time we talked about utilizing our components and how to we can rename them, etc. Now, right now, we want to talk about event propagation. And this is how event handlers will also catch events from any children your component might have. So say that we have an event and it's either maybe going to propagate up a tree. Okay. And so some people call this like bubbling up a tree. And it's going to start with where the event happened, and then it's going to go up the tree. Now, let's go on and make up a toolbar function here, and we can kind of see what's going on. So first off, we're going to export default here, and we'll have a function. We're going to call this a toolbar. It's not going to take anything in, but it's going to return here a div, and we're going to have a couple things going for us here. So the first thing here, we will start off with a class name. Is going to be toolbar, and on click of that toolbar, we're going to have in here an alert that says you touched the toolbar. Okay, use something similar to this to make like a floor is lava example before for clicking on a website. So now the next thing you can do here is create up a button. All right, and this button is going to say here, analyze the data. All right, and the button here is going to on click. All right, and we're going to say alert, alert here. Analyzing. All right, and then we're going to go on and have another button. All right, and this one is going to be upload data file. And this one will do on click. And again, here it will have something like what we had in the previous one, and we'll say uploading. All right, so again, this is nice and basic. So if we go over here, refresh, and I probably need to change up some things really quickly. All right, so we see here that it doesn't have any coloration in the background. I kind of want you guys to be able to see where you're clicking. So let's change up and let's add in some CSS really quickly. And let's do import /app.css for CSS, and let's go on and open up our CSS file in here, and I'm just going to add it in right here. Toolbar, and our background color is going to be aquamarine. Sure, why not? Okay, and we go back. Whoop. Save this. We go back over, and now notice we have aquamarine. If we touch that, or we click on it, okay, whoops, click, you touch the toolbar. All right, now if we go through here and we click the upload data file, you touch the toolbar. Uh-oh. Here, analyzing, okay. Oh, you touch the toolbar. So again, what is happening here is that it is either button that we click, okay? The on click is going to run first, all right? but then it's going to be followed by the parent div tags on click. So no matter what, if we click, oops, this one's you touch the toolbar. That one, the upload button isn't working. So I'm just going to delete it for now. Oh, should be working. Oh, and actually it's because I didn't put alert in here. So let's go on and fix that up. There we go. All right, so if we click, again, upload, it's uploading, and then when I close this, it will go up to the parent, to the div tag, and then it will run our you touch the toolbar. Okay, and same thing with analyzing. We click it, it's going to move one up to you touch the toolbar, or we can click on the toolbar itself and says, oh, you touch the toolbar. Now, this is useful if you want this to happen. However, and again, this is called propagation, and you sometimes do not want this to happen, okay? So you want to control your event handler. So the event handler is receiving an event object as their only argument. Now, by convention, this is going to be called E, okay? So what we can do then is, and again, this E stands for event. Now we can use this object to read information about the event. Now that event object allows us to stop the propagation, all right? If you want to prevent an event from reaching a parent component, then you can call e.stoppropagation. And so let's go on and do that, okay? So we have our buttons here. Now what we do is inside of here, and so let's actually make this a little bit cleaner for us. So let's put this, maybe not there. We'll do this, and then we're going to do that. Okay. And so we have in here, on click, we're going to pass it E. Okay, and then we can say E dot stop propagation. Okay, and I guess we don't really need these either for this. And again, here we would run. Well, and actually we need to do this inside of a function. So let's actually go all the way back here, and let's actually make up a button function in here. So let's actually get you, let's turn you off. Let's actually create up a whole new example for this. I think that may be the best way to go about it. So let's create up a function. And again, this is going to be button. Okay, and inside this button, we're going to take on click. We're going to take in children, and we're going to have it return in here a button. All right, and this button is going to have in here an on click. Okay, and it's going to take E. Again, that's for event, and E dot stop propagation. Okay, and then it'll take on click. Okay, and then inside here, we will take children. All right, the next part is let's go on and make up our toolbar again, and we can actually, let's actually go on and make it from scratch, because here we're not going to be having and using any of this the same way that we were before. So let's do export, default, function, toolbar, and here it's not going to take anything. We're going to return in here our div. All right, and our div here will have our buttons in it. But for now, let's go on and make a class name. Here is going to be toolbar, so we get that aquamarine color. And then we're going to have the on click here, and it's going to take in an empty, and this is just going to be something like alert, you touched the toolbar. All right, then the next portion we want in here is to have a button. All right, and this button, again, we're going to do the on click. And we'll do here, and this one will be, what was the first one that we wanted here? Let's do alert, analyzing data. Okay, and this will say, and this button will be start and analyzing data. Okay, and then the next one that we're going to do here is we're going to make up another button, and I'm just going to copy this one. And instead of analyzing data, we're going to say uploading data. And this will say upload data file. Okay, so we go back over, we click the toolbar, you touch the toolbar, good. Now we should be able to touch each of these, analyzing data, and now if I close it, we should not get anything from the parent or the div tag, so the next one of saying it shouldn't touch the toolbar. All right, so now it works. All right, so we don't have that propagation going on now. So what exactly is happening here? Well, when you touch a button, React calls our onClick handler, okay? And it's passed to button, all right? The small button here. We're grabbing our onClick, and again, it's one of these onClicks that's being passed into button, and that's being passed into the capital button, which is the component, and it's being passed into the actual button itself. Now, that handler, defined as our big button here, okay, does the following. First, it calls so event.stop propagation, preventing the event from bubbling further. And then it calls the onClick function, okay, which is a prop passed to the toolbar component. So it's this onClick that is being passed to the toolbar. Now that function is defined as the toolbar component, and this displays the button's own alert. So it would go to this one here, and it would display this alert instead. Since propagation was stopped, the parent div's onClick handler does not run. So as a result, what's happening here? This stop propagation, all right, clicking on buttons now only shows a single alert from the button rather than from the two of them, okay? So from the button and from the div tag itself. So what happens then if we want to start passing handlers as an alternative to propagation? So we can do this by creating up a new type of handler here. So let's go on and do the same thing as before. Let's go on and comment this out. Whoops. Comment you out. All right. And let's create up a function for button. All right, and again, it's going to take onClick, it's going to take children, and then it's going to return here a button. Oops. Okay, and it's going to take in the children. And we want to go on and do the onClick here, and it takes in and it's going to be e.stop propagation. And then it's also going to do on click. Now, we can add more code to this handler before calling the parent on click. Now, this pattern is going to provide an alternative to propagation. So it lets the child component handle the event while also letting the parent component specify some additional behavior, unlike propagation. Now, it's not automatic though, but the benefit of this pattern here that we see, okay, this one right here, is that you can clearly follow the whole chain of code that executes as a result of some event. Now, we can also prevent default behavior. Okay, so some browser events do have some default behavior associated with them. So for example, in the form, so let me go and comment this out as well, just so you guys can get some more information here. And we can do this. We can do export default here, and we'll have a function, and it'll be a sign in. All right. And we'll return in here, and it will be a form, and it'll be on submit in here, and we want this to basically have an alert saying submitting. And then we will give it an input. And a button. Okay, that's going to say submit. All right, so we can say something like this, submitting. All right, good. Now, you can call, so now here's the deal. So if you notice this, and we've seen this once before in one of our other videos, if you notice that we do this and we hit submit, submitting, and I close this, it resets the form, okay? Now, it automatically reloads the whole page by default. Now, we would like to prevent this from happening. This is the default behavior, is that you type something in, you submit, you close it, and it resets the page. Now, we want to stop this from happening. Well, how do we do this? Well, inside of our form on submit, here, we can change this. We can say E, okay, and we can put this all in square brackets. And we can say E.prevent default. Okay, and then alert. So now we can go over, we can put this in, submitting, close, and notice it is still there. Okay, so now this I need to be specific here. We should not confuse our E.stop propagation, which we used up here, with E.prevent default. Okay, they are both useful, but they are not related to each other. So E.stop propagation, okay, stops event handlers attached to tags above from going, okay, or from running. Now, the prevent default, okay, prevents the default browser behavior for a few events that have it, okay? So overall, let's in conclusion of this the last two videos here, is event handlers, can event handlers have side effects? Definitely. Okay, event handlers are the best place to have side effects. Now you can say, you know, there's always the caveat of, is it a bug or is it a feature? Well, this is kind of where that was kind of propagated from itself. All right, unlike rendering functions, event handlers don't need to be pure. Okay, they again, there's a list. You need to be able to say something like, A change in an input's value is in response to typing. Or maybe you want to change a list in response to a button press. Now, however, in order to change some information, you need some way to store it. So in React, that is going to be done using state and the component's memory. Now, we're going to learn about this in the next set of videos. So let's kind of recap what we've learned. Now, you should now be able to handle events by passing a function as a prop, such as an element like a button. You can use event handlers that must be passed, not called. So that is like our onClick is equal to handle click, or not the onClick is equal to handle click. You can also define event handler functions separately or inline. You can even declare an event handler as a parent and pass it off to a prop as a child. And you can even set events to propagate upwards. Okay, and you can call the stop propagation on the first argument to prevent that. Now, if you guys like this and you want more of this comment, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.